Hi Scorpio, welcome to How Love Tarot. This is your reading, money, career and finance reading for November 2021 and December 2021. So this is going to take you all the way through the end of the year. What I have for you sitting in your present position is the renewal. And here we have to clarify it, the Seven of Wands. Spirit, can you bring forward the information for Scorpio in their present position to validate this reading, please, for Scorpio? What's going on in their present position? Now, Scorpio, please keep in mind that because of this being a reading covering till the end of the year, you may not resonate with the present position. If you don't resonate with the present position, just come back to the reading towards the end of the year, and at that point it may make sense to you. If the present position doesn't make sense to you at that point, this is definitely not your reading. All right, and with me, there's no need to go on with any of the reading if the present position doesn't make sense. Here we have reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness. Time to head in a new direction, clarity in your life, purpose in your heart. You know what to do. You know, what's interesting about this card, Scorpio, is as I was pulling the strength position, I'm going to get maybe into that really quickly, because it felt like there was new energy coming about. Even before I read this card, it felt as if there is some type of perspective that is changing for you. Now, you're still dealing with a lot. It shows here that you're dealing with people that oppose you in many ways, and for some of you it's just one person. Could be a partner, could be a business partner, could be a boss, could be an investment partner. But right here it shows here you're standing your ground, and you're not I don't feel like you're challenging the communication, but you're defending your position. In regards to investments, it does feel like you're going in a different direction, or you're thinking about going in a different direction. For those of you that have a business, it does feel like you're going to branch out into something else. It does feel like for many of you that are thinking about that, and you already have a business, I feel like the original business remains, but then something new begins. And so it may be that for some of you the business or investment remains, and then there is another and this does feel like business. It really feels like a business venture or an investment venture. And for those of you that can take, you're thinking of changing career or doing something solo, so you may be, I don't know, doing something in I don't know, let's say you work for a finance company. I don't know what you do in a finance company. I've never worked for one. Oh yes, I have. We used to collect bad debt. So let's say that hey, let's say you did that, right? And you work for a finance company and you collect bad debt, and that's your job. Where I see you branching out is something similar, but kind of contracting on your own. So you collect bad debt, for example, right? And so you know a lot about bad debt and the consequences and all of that. And so one of the things that you may be doing as an enterprise, as a shift, is kind of, you know, being able to make your own money and not being capped out by an employer, is kind of taking it in a different direction, and maybe giving classes online in regards to how do you clear your bad debt, or what do you do when you're dealing with a debt collection company, you know, kind of top 10 secrets, that kind of stuff. And so I do see that in your energy here, that you want to start something new. And again, there is this division. If you're working with somebody, if you have a boss or investor, or it just has to do with, you know, partnership or marriage, one of you is going in one direction and the other's going in the other. And for many of you, this means there is disagreement, but you're standing your ground. So I kind of like that about your energy, because for quite a long time you've been very passive, kind of keeping the peace kind of energy. And here I see not like challenging and overbearing energy, but definitely a different type of energy moving forward. Now, this is an interesting kind of scenario in the strength position. And this is where I saw, again, this kind of reinforcement of new ideas coming about, because there's boredom going on in your life. There's a lot of boredom and a lack of self-fulfillment. So you may be dealing with children. So there's something that you're doing that requires a lot of your energy. And for some of you, it's, you know, raising your children. For some of you, it's working with children or working in an environment that has great need, like mental health or the homeless or in a hospital or something like that. So for some of you, in your daily work, there is a lot of energy being expended. And I don't feel like there's any energy coming towards you in regards to you doing something that you truly desire. Here, though, in the strength position, what we have is that kind of recognition of needing something new. And here we have intelligent, impartial, respected, stoic, receiving wise advice, remain objective and fair-minded, public speaking. Oh, there we go. You know, in that example, that debt example, that would be public speaking if you, I don't know, started a YouTube channel or Instagram, or I don't know, I'm not on Instagram. Well, I am, but it's kind of rubbish. But you know, public speaking, it has taken on a new format. So it really means social media, right? TED Talks, that kind of stuff. So I do see for some of you, you know, you're really knowledgeable. And there's a lot of talent that you have that's not being used. And I see you wanting to get back into doing something on your own and making money, and not just kind of like extra money for Christmas, even though maybe that's what it starts off to be, but really kind of investing in and business ideas. Communicate clearly, unemotional relationships, or being emotionally unavailable. And that's what I was talking about over here. So it's interesting that it's coming out here, but it's sitting in your strength position. So sorry, Scorpio, I'm getting over pneumonia, so I still have a bit of a cough. So not getting into arguments. I feel like when somebody tries you, or you know, somebody's challenging you and challenging your ideas, or maybe putting you down or kind of triggering you in some way, I do feel like you kind of just like let it go. And here I see, here in the strength position, I see you communicating your ideas to people that you care about, people that you love, or if this has to do with investment, this could be with like a CPA, a tax attorney, that kind of thing. But I see you going forward with your idea, and I see you talking to professionals. And for those of you that applies to, because some of you, this does have to do with like legal tender, bloody hell. That legal tender means money. I don't know what 18th century guide is with me here, given this reading, but legal tender, so money, right? So you're going to be talking to somebody professionally about money, about investments, about, Spirit is specifically saying taxes, how to not overpay in taxes. So if you do this venture, for some of you, in the strength position, there's wise counsel. There is, you're using your gut instinct, and I do feel like you're going to like, it does feel like you're going to be talking to a CPA or maybe a tax attorney for some of you, because like I said, some of you have a business and you're now going to diverge that business, and you have to talk to them about, is it going to be under the same umbrella, or is it going to be under two different umbrellas, and how does that work out in regards to taxes? And this has been coming up a lot, and I hate when I look at readings and people say that but it's true. It's coming up a lot. Spirit shows me here that a lot of you are thinking about property. And a lot of you are thinking about, if you owned 2 or 3 properties, or pulled out equity and got into another property that you could rent out, how would that affect you on a tax basis? Do your homework is what Spirit is saying in this particular reading. For the other readings, Spirit hasn't said that, but they're saying if you're thinking about, and you're not a business owner and you've never done anything like that type of investing before, do your homework, talk to the right people. Here we have you leaving a lot of the things that were holding you back are not holding you back anymore. It does show you moving forward. It does feel like you're not drowning anymore, or that even if you do feel overwhelmed, you can kind of put it into context and you're not overwhelmed for long. So it does feel here though that you're moving from one stage of investment to the next. It does feel like you're moving from one level of career to the next. It does feel like you're moving from one business idea or level to the next. If you don't have any of those things, business, investment, a home, a career even, right? You could be looking at this because you don't have a career. Spirit makes me feel here that one of the things that you're thinking a lot about for 2022, and I am going to be doing 2022 readings, so I do advise if you have questions about 2022, feel free to please put your questions in the comments. I can't guarantee that they'll be answered, but it is a great way to get a free reading. Spirit, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. You were talking about people that may not have any of those things and want to know about that. So Spirit says start small. Start small with whatever it is that you're going to do. So Spirit is making me feel here that you want to financially not just kind of survive, but you want to have disposable income. For those of you that have assets tied up, Spirit makes me feel like you want to kind of cash out on some of those assets. But specifically for those of you that don't have anything like a business, investment, career, those kinds of things, Spirit is making me feel here that you're in a time frame coming in pretty quickly now, because Scorpio, we're coming into your birth. Oh, we are in your birthday month. So whenever Spirit makes me feel like whenever I'm in a birthday month with that particular sign, that there is a lot of change and movement naturally within the zodiac. I don't know anything about astrology. Why am I doing astrology tarot readings? Well, you know what? That's another YouTube video. But anyway, so Spirit shows me here, for those of you that have never done that, it is something that you're thinking about for 2022. It does feel like you're heading to new ground. You're sick of the same old, and you're about to take the bull by the horns, Scorpio. You're about to break free of the boredom, break free of the monotony, break free of the same old. You're sick of this shit. Oh, excuse me, Scorpio. Excuse me, didn't mean to cuss there, but you are sick of it. We both know that. All right, let's take a look at the challenge. I mean, I feel like, you know, your whole year has been quite challenging for you in many different types. I feel like you've gone through like a decade of challenge. If I'm going to be totally honest with you, that's what it feels like in the energy here. A decade of challenge. Spirit, do you want to bring forward the challenge and tell me more about money, career, and finance for Scorpio from now to the end of the year? Here we have the Page of Wands. We have enthusiastic, optimistic, creative, impatient, news of creating opportunities. Here we go with that kind of new idea again. Allowing your creativity to soar. Do things that fuel your passion. Finish what you start. And then we have the Two of Swords in the reverse position. So what's happening here, remember, this is your challenge. So there's self-doubt, basically, is what's going on here. There's a lot of self-doubt, especially for those of you that have never done it before. There's 1 minute you have the idea and 1 minute you can feel passionate about it, but the next minute it feels quite overwhelming. You don't know what to do and how you know, like people question you. But for the most part, it does feel like self-doubt. It does feel like you're not equipped. It does feel like you don't have the skill set or you don't know what to do. But you want something different. And so here we have a little bit of stagnation in regards to you making a decision. We got Two of Swords in reverse. But so, you know, one of the things that may be happening is that you're not excited, right? You're not excited about this venture. And so it's kind of like one of the things that you're doing is kind of measuring your emotions and really thinking about, well, if I'm not excited about this, and I'm just trying to break the boredom, should I really be putting all this energy into a new venture? And the answer is yes. Spirit shows here, right here, that you're very bored, and within the nature of yourself, you need something new. You need a new kind of you need a new way of making money, something that will engage you and make you feel interested again. Because I don't think you want a repeat of 2021. I feel like you want to, you know, there are things in your life that make you, there's love in your life in the form of children, or maybe what it is you do for a living, or with friends or family. But it's very isolative is what it feels like. And so there is a big, you know, it's kind of like a tornado. Have you ever seen a tornado that just, you know, it starts off on the ground? I used to see this in Colorado a lot, where, you know, the tornado would just start swirling on the ground, and it's just dust, and it's swirling, swirling, swirling. And if you look at it long enough, it gets bigger and bigger. Well, usually by that time is when I haul ass. I don't wait for it to turn into the Wizard of Oz. But that's what I see for you. I feel like there is this kind of energy of the boredom is like that tornado that's growing. It's growing and growing and growing. And at some point, you know, either you do something about it or you break. And that's the challenge, in that the excitement is not there because it's not driven by motivation. It's driven by getting out of the boredom, getting out of the funk, getting out of the stagnation. But it doesn't mean you can't do it. It shows here that you can. It's just that you're not used to it being driven by boredom rather than excitement. So that can be a little bit of a challenge in regards to you having, like, kind of reinforcing that self-doubt. Here in the outcome, we have strength, we have balance, and we have the Chariot card. So basically what's going to happen in the outcome is your ideas are going to form pretty slowly. You're going to take some time to gain the strength that you need in order to gain the confidence that you need to move forward in a new direction in money, career, and finance. Whatever appeals to you, wherever you're watching this reading, whether it be your career or business, investment, money, more money coming in, you're changing your mind, you're changing your mindset. So whenever you're changing your mindset, there is a bit of a delay there, because the mind, whatever you think, you create. And if you're thinking about something with a lot of doubt in it, guess what you're going to create? A whole lot of something with nothing. In order for you to create something, you have to commit to it. And so it's going to take some time for you to get there. Spirit, is Scorpio going to get there by the end of the year? Spirit says yes, you are going to. You're sick of it. Spirit is saying you're sick of it. You're sick of being bored. You're sick of the stagnation. And it feels like you're making a promise to yourself in 2022 that everything's going to be different. Things are going to be different no matter what happens, no matter how you make it happen. Things have got to be different. And so here we have. In the balance, and that's what it feels like. Honestly, it feels like your life is so out of balance. You got this little part of your life where you do find, where there is love and there is friendship and there is that part of it, but it's not as fulfilling as it should be. And then there's, kind of business, career, money. Again, it's quite kind of, it's like, like, I don't know, it should be flowing and it's not. So there's a need for balance, and it feels like you're going to bring that in. Blending the ideas of others with your own to create something extraordinary. Successful compromise, the power of diversity, self-control, patience, and balance. So this is pretty interesting, because as I was reading this, what it felt like is some of you may go into business, and here we had some of you talking to CPAs and tax accountants, but some of you talking to people about a business idea where maybe somebody has another component. I was talking about that debt collector idea, just for example, as an example. And instead of you doing it on your own, right, you may have somebody else that works with you that's a debt collector, and two heads are better than one, right? And they're in the same position you're in and kind of wanting to, like, how do we make more money? And maybe we can do this together because you guys really get along, and you want to do a project together. Now, if you do that, make sure legal stuff is in place, because I kept seeing that over here. Make sure there's contracts in place. There's no fighting over money and stuff like that. Should you, become an overnight success, you want to make sure there's legal framework in place. So here we have blending the ideas of others with your own to create something extraordinary, successful compromise, the power of diversity, self-control, patience, and balance. The other thing I was picking up about this card, Scorpio, do not spend in the month of December. I know Christmas is coming up, but one of the things I saw is you saving money. And it feels like whatever you're saving money for has to do with this investment idea or whatever it is. There's something going on here with money. But Spirit is making me feel here that you're going to need money to make money. So whatever your budget is for Christmas, you know, just send Christmas cards. Bloody hell. Listen, we all grew up, if you're my age, you'll grow up with, like, you're lucky if you got a Christmas present. Don't worry, the kids will survive. They're not going to come to therapy years later and say, my mom didn't give me a Christmas present. My dad didn't give me a Christmas present. Trust me. Children are very overindulged in this day and age. They're going to survive it, right? So don't waste your money on stupidness with that. They open for 5 seconds, and by, I don't know, New Year's Day, they're not even, they've tossed aside whatever it is that you've bought them. So just be careful about your budget. Right here in the strength position, personal power and assertiveness, portrayed with kindness, compassion that brings about forgiveness, realizing that you're stronger than you knew. And that's what stands out to me. It's kind of like realizing that you're stronger than you knew. I know you know that you're strong, Scorpio, but there is some stuff that has really gotten you down. Like I said, the last decade has been quite a bummer for you. And it's been really, really challenging, and you haven't had the support that you needed. And for some of you, it's been quite a difficult pill to swallow. But I do feel like change is coming about, because you're going to make the change, right? There's no change like the one that you create. So Spirit, can you just want to wrap this up for me in money, career, and finance? What's the ultimate outcome by the end of the year? Spirit makes me feel here that if you save the money, even for those of you that have nothing, right? You don't have a pot to piss in, right? If you save your money, whether it be $100, $50, £100, £50, whatever it is, Spirit makes me feel that learning to save is going to be one of the biggest tasks that you're going to have to do for those of you that have nothing. So turn your 50 into 100, turn your 100 into 150. And as you start to accumulate the money, do not spend it. And Spirit makes me feel that as you become more self-disciplined with money, for those of you that have nothing, you will gain encouragement and confidence to then know that you can invest and be disciplined about money. Others of you that are in business and have investments already, I really do see you going in a different direction. I see you being quite thoughtful about it, but the thought is, the change is pretty methodical and slow, because you're going to be seeking the right structure, the right legal advice, the right tax advice. So it does look positive, it really does, and it's time for a change, Scorpio. Time for a change. Scorpio, I hope that helps, and I will speak to you soon.